All right, we back at it again, man, with some more cases for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And today we are looking at some of the crowd favorites when it comes to Spigen cases, and that is going to be the Classic C1. Now, of course, a huge shout to Spigen for hitting me with not only the Classic C1s, but also giving me the matching wallets that go along with them to just make this an absolute fire combination. And we will try these out a little bit once we get going. But let's go ahead and take a look at these cases. These are going to be the three that's available, but there's also a fourth one, which is going to be a graphite color. So you're going to get this orange, red, you get this type of green, and you're also going to get a graphite if you want something a little bit more calm down. You guys let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite color out of these right here? But I'm going to go ahead and tell you which one is my favorite and which one that we're going to go ahead and review. And of course, we'll slap the other colors up there so we can check them out. And that's just got to be this orange, man. This orange is absolute fire. And I don't know what it is about the combination of orange and white, but it just simply does it for me. So let's go ahead and run through this case, see what it has going on. Because I'm going to tell you, man, this case has some of the strongest damn magnets that you're going to find in a case for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And you pair it with that wallet, you got a hell of a combination. So let's go ahead and run through it. Now, this is going to be the Classic C1, and this is going to be very reminiscent of the old G3, if that's what I think that's included, the Macintosh computers back in the day. It's funny, man, because I didn't even think my girlfriend even knew what they were. She came in the room right before I was about to record, and she was like, yo, wait a minute, yo, these look like the old Macintoshes. And I was like, you know what? You would be correct. My techness is rubbing off on you. All right. But that's what's going on with this case. So this is going to be a two-part case. Of course, you're going to have this little bottom piece that comes out. Now, speaking, this is the thing that I had an issue with the 15 Pro Max version. This is one point. It's two things that I don't really care for this case, and this is one of them. I just feel like this is something that's just very pointless. I feel like it doesn't really help with the fit or any. I don't know. You guys let me know, man. This is something that I don't like, but this little piece will come off when it comes to the bottom. But this is going to be a two-part case. You necessarily don't have to take it apart off the frame to install it. Just take your time, and you can install this all as one. But you're going to have a hard polycarbonate texture on the back with this rubber inner when it comes to the TPU material. Now, of course, it's going to be that very nice translucent design. Now, when you look at it, it looks very 3D-ish. Like, it's not 2D. It's not sitting right on top. It's really giving you a level of depth, if you can see, when we are talking about the design. I think Spigen just absolutely knocked it out the park when we are talking about design in this case. And of course, you're going to have your plastic buttons, especially when it comes to the power button. You're going to have your cutout for the camera control. Hopefully, we are to see that coming a little bit later from Spigen, because Spigen has the button, especially with the Ultra Hyper T, Tough Armor T. I hope soon that Spigen's complete case lineup will have their button, because I'm going to tell you what, their button works damn good. All right, flipping over on the other side, you got the action button, volume up and down, and your MagSafe magnets, which is some of the strongest that's out there. So let's go ahead and grab the scale, see what this bad boy has going on. I feel like I'm rambling. They say, T, you talk too damn much, but guess what? Get over it. So let's go ahead and weigh it. 56 grams. So this case is a little bit of a chunky monkey when it comes to the phone. All right, let's go ahead and grab that icy white 16 Pro Max. And well, you know what? Let's just click it in. All right. So let's pop it in there, and then let's go ahead and slide this back plate up here. And this is basically the way it looks. All right. You got that white with the actual orange. Is like an orange lava burst, as I want to call it. Let's go ahead and get the scale with both the phone and the case. 297 grams. So you're going to have a little bit of chunky monkey to this, but this is because you really have some good protection, I feel, when it comes to this G1 case. So let's just take a look at it. Very nice, clean. You'll be able to tell the color of your iPhone, especially when it comes to the camera ring area, but not looking at the actual inside of the case, you will not be able to tell. So let's go ahead and run through this case. Now, first thing we got to talk about is the lay on the table protection. Of course, your boy is rocking that tempered glass screen protector. And with that, it does have a, and let me look at it, you have a little lip that goes all the way around. So you can place it face down on the table in case, you know, you got some do dirty things that's going on. I think you will be fine. I think they rated this up to military grade drop protection. I think this thing feels sturdy, and it definitely feels like you can take some average to pretty good drops when it comes to this case. So you do get a little lit when it comes to lay on table protection. Nothing too crazy. Flipping it over on the back, same thing when it comes to your cameras. You're going to have your standard camera protection where you put it down, and then you can wobbly wobble for the wobble boys out there when we are talking about does it wobble on a case. Now, let's go ahead and check out how this case fits on a phone, because this case fits like an absolute glove. And with that, there is a pro and there is a one little con that I really don't care when it comes to this case being such strong fitting case. So when it comes to that top side here, you're not getting any pull. This thing is rock solid on this case. No pull at all when it comes to this top. Let's go ahead and go down to the sides where the buttons, absolutely nothing. This thing is glued up there when we are talking about this case. Coming down to the side, nothing moves, nothing budges. I can't get anything to budge when we are talking about this left side. Coming down here, when we're talking about the camera control button, you're going to get a little bit of movement, but this is so sturdy. I don't have any problems with it. This is something where you don't really see the frame. You're not really getting much movement right there. I think it still fits rigid enough for that camera control button. Coming down to the bottom, you're going to get a little pull, but this case fits like an absolute glove brick. I was going to say something else a little bit inappropriate, but the thing fits tight, if you know what I'm talking about when it comes to this case. Now, I don't even know if I want to attempt the snap part of this, because this thing, I can't even get it out. Like, you got to force, and I'm not even going to go through it because all the corners, they don't really pop that good, but it is a fight to get this case off. Sure, you can probably pop this off down here at the bottom and kind of remove it a little bit easier, but you got to fight to get this case off. You might try to break a sweat to get this bad boy off, man, because that's how strong fitting this case is, and I'm absolutely here for it, man. So the fit on this thing fits like chef's kiss, man. One of the best fitting cases right now for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and there's some good fitting cases out there on the market. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the buttons, because this is kind of my pain point number 2 with this case. Number 1 is going to be this little doohickey down here at the bottom. I don't know. It doesn't pop off that easy when the case is on, but I just don't know why. Just make it an all one piece. Don't have this little piece that's removable. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but let's go ahead and talk about the buttons. Now, the buttons aren't as the tactile as I want them to be. They're actually very stiff. Like this action button, this needs to be more tactile. It is too stiff. You got to kind of really get your finger in there to manipulate it. Volume up and down. I mean, you're not really hearing it because it doesn't give you that tactile. It gives you a click, but it's not that click that I'm looking for when it comes to the buttons. Power button kind of gives you what you're looking for, but I just feel like the buttons almost feel like they need to be broken in, like they need to be worked in, for my opinion, in order to get those to really feel good. So in my opinion, this was something that bothered me about the last version when it came to the Classic C1, and it's still there for the 16 Pro Max versions. These buttons just have to be better. You don't have to make them metallic. You don't got to make it aluminum. You don't have to make them standalone. They just need to be better, and Spigen cases usually has pretty good buttons. So I want that to be better when it comes to the Classic C1. Now, how does this case feel in your hand? It definitely gives you a different feeling because this is a more rounded off case. As you see, all the corners are going to be a little bit more rounded. They kind of mimic that old G3 MacBook design. And I'm not mad the way it feels in the hand, because especially for people out there who thinks cases digging their hands and all that, you don't got to worry about that with this case. There's nothing going to be digging in your hands because all of the corners are very nice and rounded off. Now, is it slippery? I do think this case is a little bit slippery just because of this material with this TPU. Now, it doesn't, it's not too slippery because this material kind of sticks to your hand a little bit, kind of gives it like a tacky feeling, not in a bad way, but I don't know, man. It doesn't feel as slippery as you think it will. But there is a little bit of slippery characteristics when it comes to this case. Now, is it a deal breaker? No, I'm pretty sure I can use this case without it being any issue. Of course, longevity on how this case probably feels in my hand may change over time, but in my opinion, it does give a little bit of thickness when we are talking about the case. Once again, you saw it over those 50 grams, so you know it's going to be a little bit chunky, but I do feel like it does feel solid to where you get some good protection if you were to accidentally drop your phone. Now, let's go ahead and talk about, but before we get into MagSafe, because I want to talk about it so much because these magnets are strong as hell, let's switch over to that camera control area. Now, when it comes to the camera control buttons, Spigens are, their buttons, A1 camera control cutout is kind of hit or miss in my opinion, just because I feel like their top ledge is a little thick and you can kind of feel it if you want to manipulate that button. So you kind of really get a good feeling of that top edge and I feel like your finger is right there in the way. But if you had to use it, it's back there. It's nice and tapered on the areas where you do get it. So in my opinion, it's not nothing terrible. Once again, we just want to see that button, but looking up close, it's not a gigantic cutout. They didn't cut out too much to what they needed to. I think it does a pretty good job when it comes to that button. Now, magnets. Let's talk about these magnets, man, because these bad boys are probably the strongest magnet since it might be one of the cases with the strongest magnet. So let's go ahead and pop it on MagSafe. As you can see, that works just fine and easily picks this base up with no problems. And you see me going up and down. All right, pause. You know what I'm talking about. but this thing has a very confident, very strong magnet. That's what I love to see. I remember that same thing being the case when it came to the C1 case for the 15 Pro Max. Glad to see these magnets are still intact. Now, let's go ahead and show off the wallets, because before we get into the mag shake test, let me at least go ahead and show you the wallet that you can get. And here's going to be their C1 Classic wallet. That is, of course, going to match this, and this is going to have more magnets up there to really give this thing a solid lock-in. When this wallet is paired with the actual case, this bad boy is up there and it is no movement, no anything going on. Simply is because they have some more magnetic points right here that the average wallet doesn't have, that it doesn't move. In my opinion, every MagSafe wallet needs to have these extra magnets because it just makes things fit just a little bit more tight. Spigen knocked it out the park when it comes to the wallet, especially when it comes to that. But if you want to use something like a standard leather wallet, here's going to be a MagSafe wallet. You're going to get a little movement, but in my opinion, everyday wearing in and out your pocket, with this being a little bit slippery material, you might get a little movement when it comes to that area right here, but still very strong to get that magnet out. Now, let's go ahead and pop it off with the mag shake test, man, and let's go ahead and do it because I think this is going to be pretty good. So light shake, medium shake. All right, I'm calling SOS. Oh, God dog it, I'm calling. You see, when I hold the button, I'm shaking and shaking, I'm calling SOS. It's a lot going on, but y'all see, that was 3, and I was, So you see the mag shake test, that could have been a wall dinner if I would have let it fly into that wall. So the MagSafe on this bad boy is super strong. I'm here for it. Spigen, you knocked that out of the park when it comes to this case. But once again, even though I don't like this piece, it doesn't move when the case is up there. So maybe my point is null and void. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I want it to be all included when it comes to this case. Spigen, you made an absolute amazing case. You got to do a little bit of work when it comes to those buttons, all right? In this case, it's going to be 30 bucks. Let's go ahead and slap the other colors up there just so you can see what they're looking like along with their, wallets of choice. So let's go ahead and grab the green version right here. Let's go ahead and pop it on and slap, make sure that bottom is on. And that's going to be a very clean look as well if you want to go with that. Popping the wallet up there. Of course, this is going to be the MagSafe wallet. Very clean, very nice. Just a dope combination that Spigen has going on right here. So that's going to be that. And you see me actively fighting to get this case off. That's the fight that you got to do when you're talking about getting this case off, man. So let's pop that up here. And let's go ahead and bring, last but not least, the red so you can see what this one has going on. Make sure that bottom is snapped in. That's going to be that red. You can't beat a good, solid, clean red case. Slapping that wallet up there, that's also going to be a very good look. So here are the 3 classic C1s. Once again, the 4th one is missing with it being that graphite. These are available on Amazon, and they are for 30 bucks. So if you want just a unique case, bring some of that nostalgic look when you were talking about the old Macintosh, the classic Spigen C1 is going to give you exactly that. Very strong MagSafe magnets, very strong fit. Would like those buttons to be a little bit better, but I'm gonna tell you what, man, there's no other case gonna look like this one on the market for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So hit the link down below, man. Grab your one on Amazon, 30 bucks. Pay attention, could be some Black Friday sales coming up. But if you wanna check the Spigen Ultra Hybrid T and you wanna see how good that Spigen camera control button is, I'll be sure to leave that video right here.